Hey everyone, it's Dave Hudson, your resident playwright, but for the next few weeks, I am going to be what we're calling the geek in the garden. I'm going to be giving you some tech tips and ideas of how you can make internet better in your house, how to record things a little better, things like that. So I'll be talking a lot about sort of like gadgetry and just how to work with your computer better. This week, I'm going to be talking specifically about how to improve your Wi-Fi experience in your house. Just a few tips that can either be, really down and dirty and not very expensive, or a couple of more elegant solutions that might cost a little more money, but will definitely make life in the internet house of today a lot better. So here we go. First of all, let's talk about the basics of how your home setup works. Now, I wish that we all had the same equipment in our houses, and then it would be very easy to talk to you about, okay, this is the box that you have, and this is how you do it. But we have different equipment in all of our houses. So I'm going to be talking about sort of general ideas, and then all of those ideas will expand out to other people. Now, let's talk about Xfinity. Let's talk about Xfinity or Comcast. If you have that in your house, what you have is a modem and a router, or possibly what's called a combo router, an all-in-one router. But for now, let's talk about if you have both, if you have a modem and a router. Okay, so this is an example of a modem, and if you look at it, and I will show you a closer picture, but if you look at it in the back, there are just two connections. This is your modem. There is a thing called coax cable, and coax is going from your modem into the wall, into a connection in the wall, like that. Okay? On the other connection, there's an Ethernet connection. That's called an RJ45 connector, and that looks just like your old phone connectors, and that goes into there's a cable going there, and out of that Ethernet connector, you'll have a cable that's going to the router. Now your modem that we talked about just gives you your signal, and then your router is what gives you your Wi-Fi signal. So that Wi-Fi signal is getting basically the internet pipe, the internet signal from the modem, and then it is taking it and sending it out to all of your devices over Wi-Fi in your house. Okay, let's talk about how you can improve your Wi-Fi signal. And the basic idea is you want to eliminate that distance and those walls that signal is going through as much as possible. And let's just talk about something that most of us don't like: electronics. We don't like cables and wires. So what will tend to happen is you will get your connection and it will be shoved in a closet or behind the TV in one room, and often that room might be like downstairs at the front of the house. And then if you think about it, usually where you're getting a problem getting your signal is upstairs in the back of the house, right? Or just upstairs. So the first thing you need to think about is, where are you placing the device that's giving out your Wi-Fi signal? And here's a very down and dirty way that you can improve your signal. So we're talking about, right now I'm going to talk about the cheap ways you can improve your signal. And it might not be popular, or like the most attractive, but it's something that can be done temporarily until you want to do another setup. But this is some real easy ways. Okay, so I talked about the router, right? The router has an Ethernet cable going into it. And here's the simple way. So right now, if you see this, I have the modem and the router, and this is the 3-foot Ethernet cable. Well, guess what? An Ethernet signal can go over 100 feet in one cable. So here is the $30 fix that you can do to really improve it. I'm talking dramatically improve this signal in your house. If your router is stuck somewhere like in a closet in the front of the house, or removed from somewhere, is you have a 3-foot cable, buy a longer cable. This is about a 20-foot cable. You can buy a 100-foot cable on Amazon or other sites for less than $30. So and this is a round cable. You can also buy flat cables that are a little more attractive, and you can buy them in different colors, black, white, so that they don't necessarily stand out. So all you need to do to really improve your signal, and I'm talking literally within minutes, is buy a longer cable, and then right here, you take out the Ethernet cable from your modem, and you take out the Ethernet cable from your router, and then you put in the longer one, and you attach those two things again, and then you just move your router to the middle of your house, right to the middle or closer to the place where you know you'll be working, and you will be amazed at how fast that will make your connection and how much better will make it. And when I'm talking about this, those same lessons apply to the other two devices, the all-in-one devices I talked about. So the longer Ethernet cable, if you have an AT&T device, which is the all-in-one, if you have that one of those, that connects from the short Ethernet cable from that AT&T device into your wall. Just buy a longer cable, and then again, move this somewhere else, but then connect to the same place in the wall, and then move the device to the middle of your house. And then if you have a Comcast device, an all-in-one, instead of a short coaxial cable or coax cable, again, about $30, you can buy a much longer coaxial cable, and you might need just one little adapter that goes with it, but in general, then you can again move your all-in-one device somewhere closer to the middle of the house. That's your cheapest and easiest way of really like improving the signal in you know, as long as you can sort of hide that wire or run it under the floor, real easy. So here's another $30 fix. It's called a repeater or a booster. And I will be giving you links to these devices so you look them up on Amazon or other places. So a booster or a repeater, here's what you do. You take it and you plug it in somewhere else in the house, a bit away from your router, and that way you don't have to move your router. So you want to move it where the signal is okay, but not at its weakest. And basically what it does is that serves to boost the signal to the rooms that might be having problems. Again, these cost roughly $30. Easy to program. You use a smartphone app, and it just connects, and then you say, this is what my Wi-Fi name is and my password. It picks it up, and then you're done. It's a very easy fix, and that is a really great way to boost your signal. Again, not too expensive. So I have one other thing to talk about, and that is what's called a mesh Wi-Fi system. And a mesh Wi-Fi system is really straightforward and easy to use, but it's not necessarily the least expensive. A mesh Wi-Fi system is something that has usually 3 access points, and you buy a kit, and you basically connect those to your modem, and you then distribute these pieces around the house. So you put them all over the house, and then it creates a unified network. I'll also include a link to another video that explains it in more detail. But here's what I will say, and quite honestly, we have a system called Google Wi-Fi, has 3 points. We have 2 downstairs, 1 upstairs, and I can only say that since we got it, we haven't had a single dead spot in our entire house, except for one time when one of the access points got unplugged. But other than that, we've had just stellar signal throughout our entire house, and we have a 2-story house, one of those long Chicago-style ones. So, there's a lot of ground to cover there, and I just have to say it's phenomenal. So I highly recommend looking into that if you want to really get a great signal throughout your house. So there you go. There's some internet tips on how to have better Wi-Fi. Simple solutions are a little more complicated, but easy to implement. And once you've done it, you don't have to think about it again. As we said in the newsletter, I am around. I'm more than happy to talk to you on the phone, to set up a virtual house call if you have questions about how your house is working, and we can either do it through Zoom or FaceTime or something. And I'll even, if worse comes to worse, I'll even mask up and stop over and help you work things out. I was in IT for years and years, and I'm more than happy to help. So looking forward to working with all of you this summer, and we'll be seeing you virtually very soon. Take care.